Love is in the air. You guys have shown love, and I'm going to fit right in, so I'm loving. Keep doing what you're doing. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Chris. As you can notice, this is the Brown table today with Chris and the Browns here. John Brown's here, and I'm Fred Brown. So Nolan, how did you get in here? It's my pleasure today to introduce you to Amy Donovan. As most of you know, Karen Ferris and I are co-chairs of the board of directors at Agape Clinic, who is one of our collaborative partners here with this club. Very proud of that. But Amy has just joined us there as our director of development. Came on board about 6 weeks ago, and we're very pleased to have her there. She is a former member of the staff at Highland Park United Methodist Church, where she worked in the outreach department, and also is very active in the music department. She is a professional oboist and does give oboe lessons. If anybody needs a little tune-up on their oboe, well, please see Amy. But Amy, we're very glad to have you here with us today. You never give a past president the microphone. One other thing, we're very pleased that Richard Stanford has agreed to join us on our board at the Agape Clinic. So he'll be joining us very soon there. So another Rotarian there. Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Okay, and we have one more. This is David. If y'all saw a lot of those photos from the 4th of July parade, he took a lot of them and kind of put them out there, and we snatched them because they were great. Awesome. And also a former Rotarian in San Antonio, and I'll let him talk also.
Hi, I'm David, and I'm originally from San Antonio. I've been in Dallas for 11 years, and I was a member of the San Antonio Downtown Rotary 25 years ago, I guess, and I think the attendance rules were a little bit more draconian back then. And so, and when I moved here really to raise my boys, I had dropped out. And like she said, I just showed up to the 4th of July parade for Highland Park. I'd never been, and I photographed it. I put them up on, I guess, Park City's chatter. And then somebody said, could we use them? I'm like, yeah, of course, they're for anybody to use. And I thought, well, why not Rotary again? So here I am.
I love it. Welcome. Well, special welcome to each of our guests. We sincerely hope that you will decide to join. Next, we're going to have Happy Bucks. And our President-elect, Jeff McNaughton's going to pass the mic if you have Happy Bucks. I'm really happy to see our speaker today, Tyler Holcomb. We had a speaker conflict at the last minute, and so he popped in, and I'm just so grateful. When you get an email at 8 o'clock the night before, there's a little bit of panic, and so I really appreciate Tyler being here today. He's going to be awesome. So here's my Happy Bucks. Who's next? So our Happy Bucks take care of our, every third Friday, we're going to recognize someone from University Park and someone from Highland Park that's done a fabulous job in the public service area. And so they're going to be here along with their supervisor, and so your Happy Bucks provide for their lunches each week. Thank you.
Here's one. Here we go.
Well, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but I'm very happy to look at the front of our room and see 6 awesome award banners that Barb and her team put together this last year.
Well, I have very good news. I came in on Monday morning at 7 and my office was destroyed due to a tarp that malfunctioned at my building. It's already adjusted, and everybody is working towards helping our customers. So I'm so excited.
Wow.
So insurance pays.
Good deal.
I'd like to nominate Carl von Bieberstein as Transportation Committee of One. We now live in the same place. My wife is really appreciative of Carl.
Way to go, Carl.
And he brought us service above self for today, I think, for Carl. Carl doesn't want to say anything.
Way to go, Carl.
Past district governor Rick Amesbury told me that I talked so much that I had to put some money in the kitty, so I'm going to.
Well, thank you for your good news too, Fred. We're happy that you're on the Agape board.
Any more?
Fantastic. And Mark Casher is now going to introduce our marketplace advertiser, Mark Neese. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Happy. Please refer to the hub on your table, and on the back of your hub, you'll see our Rotary Club Park Cities Marketplace, which highlights a bunch of our great members and their businesses and their their sponsorship of our newsletter. Today, we are going to be honoring, in the back of the room there, Mark Neese. Mark Neese is the CEO and creative director of SyncLab Media, which helps businesses synchronize their business objectives with their marketing strategy and tactics to achieve their vision of success. They accomplished this with a video-centric approach to digital marketing, offering strategic direction, creative production, and optimized support. Mark's been a member of our club since 2014, is a Paul Harris Society member, and basically does everything AV of our club. Does amazing work, but Mark also wanted me to highlight he is an assistant scoutmaster in his son Max's Boy Scout troop, serves as district commissioner for the Tejas Caddo District and Circle 10 Council, and Mark and Max are brotherhood members of the Order of the Arrow. Mark also has another business known as the Caddy Club. You can call him the Caddy Daddy. You may not know he also played football at the University of Hawaii. So also Mark's a big 49ers fan as well. So Mark is amazing, as you can tell. Thank you so much, Mark Neese, for your sponsorship of the Hub. Thank you, Mark.
So we have some fun announcements. Past President Barb, if you'll come on up and tell us about these banners that we have here.
Happy to. For that, I will pay happy bucks. Hello, everybody. Last night was the District Awards Banquet. It was very well attended. We had a great group of folks from the club that came, and we did, as you can see, receive 6 banners and 1 award. So the first award that we received was for Philip Banquet. It's called the Star Award. The district started this several years ago, and this is a club-generated award for one individual in your club who has shown exemplary leadership and accomplishment throughout the year. I think we would all agree that Philip has done that. He was not able to attend today. He said he had work to do. I don't know. Good grief. So we'll make sure that Philip gets his Star Award. And then the rest of these banners come with them, and we'll be able to proudly display these for the next year. The first one was an individual award, and Chris McNeil received that. It was the Ethics Award. Chris served as a parliamentarian this past year. He guided the board through several difficult and technical issues, thank goodness, through sound and unbiased counsel, and he kind of was our North Star. So for that, we appreciate Chris. We also then won the following club awards. The first was Club Service, and that places emphasis on fellowship, attendance, membership development, and quality of weekly programs. I think you'd all agree as you look around the room, and we'll hear our speaker today, that we do all of the above. The next one was Communications, recognizing outstanding communications that involved a two-way distribution of information between the district and the club, improvements in inter-club communications using things like our newsletter, our emails, and other documentation. And as you know, what we went through with our distancing this past year, that was even more critical to stay connected. So we were very proud of the Communications Award. Our own Betty Dawson received, thank you, Betty, the Bulletin Excellence Award. What can I say? Yay! As she humbly sits there and takes her notes each week, we are recipients of such quality writing and just a great hub and a newsletter that just keeps changing each week. As you notice, she's switching it up and modifying it, and it's always fresh. The next one was Public Relations, a club which through its actions has done the most to promote Rotary through public relations and media exposure. You know, our partnership with Park Cities People has been instrumental in that. And in addition to the work Happy's doing with the public relations team, we're doing even better at getting our presence known in social media. So, and the last one's a big one. This was like icing on the cake. There are 63 clubs in District 5810. We won the Rotary Club of the Year. Woohoo! That's you. So, hats off to each and every one of you. This is a club award. It was a 6-year drought, but boy, I tell you what, it was good to win the gold. All right. Wonderful. And I'll make sure Chris gets his award and Philip gets his.
And now we have two fabulous new members that are going to give their new member talk. We have Bobby Quick and Paul Gorman. Please come on up.
Thanks, Happy. Good afternoon. I'm Paul Gorman, and I was asked to give a little bit of a background on myself and what brings me to Rotary. So bear with me while I do that. I'm from Ohio. I was originally a farm kid from Ohio, and after graduation, I was selected and went into the Navy Aviation Officer program, where I was a naval aviator. I spent my first tour as a helicopter pilot for 3 seasons in Antarctica in support of Operation Deep Freeze, in support of the National Science Foundation. That was really a great experience. Following that, they liked me, so they sent me to postgraduate school in Monterey. And following that, I went back to sea, and I was a helicopter pilot aboard small ships in the Far East. Following my Navy career, I retired about 30 years ago as a Navy commander. And following that, I was a sales director for a computer software company. Over the course of that career, I'd sold high-tech computer software for modeling and analysis to virtually every aerospace company in the country and many telecommunications and communications companies throughout the world, and had the opportunity to live and work in Europe for a period of time. Well, what all that did for me was to give me an appreciation of sort of a global perspective, and I enjoyed interacting with different cultures and meeting different people from all over the world. And so it was a good fit for me when I joined Rotary about 13 years ago in San Diego. And they're organized a little bit differently. They're organized according to the avenues of service, and international service being one of them. I was tapped as their international services director. In that role, we did a lot of global grants from everywhere from India to Asia and around the world, so I became very educated in that process. And I did serve as 1 year president for that particular organization, Rotary Club in San Diego. But when we moved here, Bobby and I went on a shopping spree, and we shopped for Rotary clubs to join. The good thing about Rotary is no matter where you go in the world, you kind of know what you're getting into because the people all have a similar mindset, so you kind of know what you're dealing with when you walk in. We joined the Dallas Uptown Rotary Club, and as part of that, I also then began serving as the District 5810 Global Grants Chair, and still do. But after a couple of years there, Dallas, the Park Cities Rotary Club, began to stand out. You just heard about the awards this morning. And, you know, everybody loves a winner. And so, as part of our journey through Rotary, we elected to leave the Dallas Uptown and join up with you all. So we're really pleased to be here. We see an awful lot of service opportunities. The fellowship here is great. You have a great club. And as I say, everybody loves a winner, and we want to be a part of your process and your club as well. So we appreciate your being here, or our being here with you and allowing us to be here. Thank you. Bobby? Yep.
Tom Swift told me the key to this was to tell y'all how great you are. Got the banners. You're all so nice. We're all so happy to be here. As Paul said, when we came to Dallas, we wanted to get involved with Rotary to learn about our new community, to get involved, and to make new friends. At Uptown, I served as the membership director and also as secretary. But I'm really happy to be here in Park Cities. I think it's going to be a better fit for me. In San Diego, I had a long history of community involvement. I was president of the Parents Association at the Bishop School in La Jolla. I was on the national board of National Charity League as expansion VP. I was assembly chair of the San Diego Imperial Council of Girl Scouts. I was on the board of directors of Lambs Players Theater, and I chaired their capital campaign. I was president of the board of the Old Globe Theater, where I chaired lots of committees and served as president. I was honored by Salvation Army as a woman of dedication, and I've recently been invited to join the board of directors of Dallas Theater Company. They have just announced the dates for A Christmas Carol. We could do that as a group if you like. If we're interested, I'll go to work on that. I am a good fundraiser. I one time asked a man for $1 million and I got it. You never have to ask anybody for anything again once you've done that. I have 2 grown children who've blessed me with 2 amazing grandchildren. After they visit, it takes days to put the house back together. My son is the owner of Il Bracco here in Dallas. He's currently opening 2 more restaurants in Houston and another here in Dallas. The Houston restaurants should both be open by convention, and I'll bet I can get us some reservations. Other than being his most enthusiastic customer, I help test recipes and work on menus. It's my Caesar salad on the menu, it's my cheesecake, and it's my cioppino. I'm a good cook, I love to entertain, Paul indulges me, and I am famous for my carrot cake. We're happy to be here.
Aren't they fun? Mark Casher is now, for the next few weeks, we're going to be highlighting our directors so you can hear about the teams that are under them. So you can get to know about all the different teams that we have in the club so you can sign up. Perhaps you've missed a team and you didn't know about it, and so this is your opportunity to learn more about the teams that we have available in the club. Mark Casher is going to tell about our teams under institutional outreach.
Thank you, Happy. I am the Director of Institutional Outreach. Basically, we reach out to the institutions that our club does great projects with. So first up, I don't know if I saw everybody here, but the first team under my directorship is the Philippine Computer Literacy Project with Bud Nafee. Paul, did I hear you mention computers? This might be a good one for you. Bud works to get use computers into schools in the Philippines, and since last year, there wasn't a whole lot going on with COVID-19. He got to work on a club grant to help supply food to get some food into the dorms into some of the Philippine schools. So Bud's doing some great work. He needs some help if anybody has interest. Next up is the Rotary International Foundation team under the great Greg Pape, who's not here today. It's a little different than our own club's foundation. This is the Rotary International Foundation, which spends more than $4 billion on sustainable projects around the world, including eradicating polio, providing clean water and sanitation, supporting education, and others. The Rotary International Foundation makes global grants, disaster response grants, and also district grants, which leads me to our next team, Karen Ferris. District Grants, who prepares applications for those grants for funds to support club projects, like the grant we applied for last year for Bonton Farms Medical Clinic, and like we'll be applying for this year for the Salvation Army Project, which is the next team under me with Eric Heitkamp. The Salvation Army Project is working on the outdoor leisure area, improving the area, and including resurfacing the basketball court, which the Mavericks are going to be helping us with, and the landscaping, and just improving the overall area. So it's just underway, and so Eric Heitkamp definitely needs help with that. And finally, not sure what's going to happen with this club, but last but not least was the Bonton Farms Medical Clinic fundraising through Lee. Pam and Linda Tunnel did a great job of raising those funds last year and raised $150,000. Waiting to see what's next for this team, but as you can see, I've got a lot of great folks under my directorship, get to work with some of the past presidents, and thanks to everybody for all the great work that we do. So please volunteer for some of our teams and let me know if you have interest.
Marcia Zeidel is going to tell us about member profiles, and then Nolan Duck, you're up for the auction. Marcia Zeidel.
I'm going to stand here so you can see me. Being short has never been something I've always had to live with. I do need the mic. Okay. Okay. This is going to be very, is it on? Okay. Very brief. Have you seen this week's spotlight, the two members who've been spotlighted this week? It's Linda Tunnel and Patsy Watson. Woohoo! And I learned so much from just looking at their little profile about who they are and what's unique about them. So each week, two members of our club will be highlighted on the website and in the e-bulletin. So my question to you is, have you done your profile? I know I have. Who has done their profile? Just raise their hand. The rest of you need to do it. So stop procrastinating. And I've done mine. I wouldn't be up here. So if you haven't filled out your form, it's time to do it, and we can spotlight you. Thank you.
Well, last Saturday was lots of fun. We had 31 of us, 32 of us went to the Rangers game. It was lots of fun. And because we bought 32 tickets, we were given 4 tickets by the Texas Rangers. And so Nolan Duck is here to auction off 2 sets of 2 tickets for you to go to the Texas Rangers game, to an August game of your choice. Mark has the game dates up there. They're going to be lots of fun. The seats are in the 300 section, and lots of great teams. And I'd love for you to win those tickets.
Harry and Sally were touring the mansion that she had built with her money. And as she was touring that mansion with Harry, a truck rolled up with this custom-made furniture. And it was being unloaded, and Sally said to Harry, you know, if it wasn't for my money, that furniture wouldn't be here. About that time, another truck rolled up with this beautiful stereo system that was being installed in the home. And, you know, Sally said to Harry again, you know, if it wasn't for my money, we wouldn't have that. Well, Harry looked at Sally and finally said, you know, honey, if it wasn't for your money, I wouldn't be here. Well, if it wasn't for your money, I wouldn't be here. So we're auctioning off 2 sets of tickets for the games that you've already seen. Now, we're going to start with $100 a pair. So who wants to start bid on this first set of tickets? Do I hear $100? Anyone? Okay, Sean got $100. Do I hear $150? Do I hear $125? I'll start with that. No, let's say $150. Anyone $150? This is going to a good cause. You're going to enjoy giving Happy that money. She's going to be real happy to take it. Do I hear $150? Oh, come on. 2 tickets. they start at $50 a piece. So $100 is where you start. One night. It includes all you can eat.
So you can, the food and the all you can eat is not fabulous. So this gives you an opportunity.
Full disclosure, the all you can eat is less than exciting. Anyway, but that's where, do I hear 125? Got 100, okay, 125. Thank you, Scurry. Do I hear 150? 150? 150, anyone? Okay, 150. All right, thank you so much, appreciate that. Do I hear 175? 175, anyone? Okay, 150 going once, 150 going twice, and sold. You just bought yourself 2 tickets. Appreciate that, $150. All right, second set of tickets. $100 is where we're starting. Anyone? Do I have a bid from anyone? Sean, you can have, okay, there you go, Sean. Thank you for getting it started. Okay, 100, do I hear any, 125, anyone? Oh, we're going to go for 2. All right, good deal, Scurry. Appreciate that. 125 coming from Scurry. All right, 150, do I hear that? 125 going once, 125 going twice, sold. We got those tickets taken care of. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So the money goes into our Happy Buck section. So, yeah, it's not going to me personally, I can assure you. Thank you, Texas Rangers. I'll match some things, yes, for sure. Yeah. So thank you so much for bidding on those, gentlemen. That's going to be lots of fun. I hope you'll have an awesome time. Next, Cleve Clinton, past President Cleve Clinton, is going to tell us about your opportunity to sign up for this year's Legacy of Leadership team. Thank you, Cleve.
Wanting to do a good turn, I'll be very quick. Sign up for Legacy of Leadership. It's really a great program. You'll enjoy it. Holly's nodding her head. Barbara's nodding her head. Nolan's nodding his head. All past alumni. Now, I will also add this. Barb Jeffries has got a great idea. We're going to start alumni programs, which necessarily means you have to be an alumni to participate in the program. Ask anybody, ask whoever you want a question. We'll try to answer it. Me, Paul Pyrock, Nolan, whoever, Jeff. We'll be happy to answer your questions. We need you to sign up. We've already got 2 or 3 applications. Thank you. And hello, Amy.
It's a great program. I hope that you'll join us in signing up for this year's session. So it is now time. If you are here, we want to make sure before you leave that you take a picture of you and whoever's next to you or somebody else in the club that you want to be in a picture with. And post it on your social media. Use our hashtags. We want to promote our club, let people learn about Rotary. Thank you. Frisco, we're going to go to do baseball again, August 20th. You won't want to miss it. It's we're going to see the Frisco Rough Riders, August 20th. It's Fireworks Friday. You won't want to miss that. So sign up online. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'd love to have another huge group to go with that. Eric Highcamp is heading that up. And now, without any further ado, Marcia Zeidel is going to introduce our speaker today.
I'm up here again, surprise. I want to introduce Tyler Holcomb. Now, in your bulletin, it was advertised that Kevin Patterson was going to speak. Well, as I understand, at 8:30 last night, he was not feeling well, and we have a substitute. So I want for you to appreciate that Tyler is doing this on the fly, learning last night, but I know he's going to do a great job. Tyler began working for Circle 10 Council in August of 2017 after graduating from the University of Kansas with a bachelor's degree. Since that time, Tyler has held multiple positions with the local Boy Scouts of America Council, including district executive, business manager, and camp director. He served as the district executive of the Eagle Trail District, which is comprised of Allen and Lovejoy school districts for over 3 years. He served as the business manager of Camp Constantin in 2019 and the camp director of Camp James Ray in 2020. Tyler now serves as finance director and is working to bring 2 new fundraising events to the council next year. Tyler's passion for scouting runs deep, as he started the program as a first grader, progressed all the way to Eagle Scout, and served 4 summers as camp staff member of Camp Nash in Kansas City. Let us welcome Tyler.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I am filling in for Kevin, who is filling in for Sam. So thank you for your patience through all this. I also want to introduce Brian Lamarand, who's another finance director with Circle 10 Council. I'm going to give him the microphone. And we want this to be more of a discussion than a presentation that'll put you to sleep. So if you have questions, feel free to raise your hand. Brian will come find you, and we will talk about it. So first and foremost, I wanted to have, if there are any former scouts in the room, could you please stand? I'm curious. Girl Scouts too. Are there any Eagle Scouts in the room? I'll definitely give you a round of applause. The number changes, but about 2 to 4% of all who start their journey in the Boy Scouts of America end as an Eagle Scout. So a very good accomplishment. 2 to 4%, yep, changes every year. Oh, I have the thing that changes it. Does that work? Okay, perfect. Every person in scouting learns the motto, be prepared, and I'm not going to read that for you because it's really small print. So we're just going to go right on ahead. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir. Okay, so this map is pretty helpful. So this is Circle 10 Council. This is the local Boy Scouts of America Council. It gets confused a lot because we do have the National Boy Scouts of America office in Irving. So just wanted to kind of clarify that for everybody. It's 24 counties. And I also really wanted to mention real quick our 4 council camps. And it's very rare for a council to have 4 beautiful properties that their scouts and visitors and friends can take advantage of. So to highlight those real quick, our first one's Camp Wisdom. It's just northeast of I-20 and Spur 408 intersection. We have beautiful Camp James Ray, as she mentioned. That's in Pottsboro on Lake Texoma. That's where our Webelos and Cub Scout summer camps are held. That's our 3rd grade to 5th grade programs. It also has Philmont-style campsites for those that are training to go to Philmont. Camp Trevor Reese Jones is just outside of Athens, Texas, and that's where we camp our Scouts, BSA Scouts, what was formerly known as the Classic Boy Scouts of America program. It's about 3,200 acres, and it has a full equestrian program, ATV program, a high ropes course, fishing, lakefront activities, shooting sports, and more. And then our 4th one is Camp Constantine, which has 6 miles of shoreline on Possum Kingdom Lake and borders the YMCA's Camp Grady Spruce. And that's known for its extensive water program. And so there are 24 counties right there. Let's see if we can get to the next. Oh, it worked. Can you go back one? All right, thank you. So here's some fun facts about Circle 10 Council. If you could read it on the last slide, it did say 57,000 scouts. That's a pre-COVID number. As you can imagine, COVID-19 hit us pretty hard. We had very limited access into recruiting into our schools, and so this year we're looking forward to going back into the schools this fall and recruiting youth and getting them excited about the scouting program. So right now we have approximately 32,000 youth in the program, and how that's made up is 14,000 of them are Cub Scouts. That's really our bread and butter program that feeds into our Scouts BSA program and into our Venture program. We have 9,000 Scouts BSA members, 537 are Venture. If you're unfamiliar with the venturing program, that's ages 14 to 21. It is co-ed, and it is mainly focused on higher adventure campouts and activities that they may not be able to do with the younger youth. Exploring program, we have over 1,000 youth in that program, and I'll talk about that in a minute and what that is. Our Trevor Reese Jones Scout Reach program, which helps those that do not have the privilege of doing a normal scouting program. has about 18,000 scouts, and that's where a lot of our fundraising comes in and sponsors that program. And we have over 8,800 adult volunteers to help make this all possible. In the year 2020, we had 777 Eagle Scouts, which is a huge accomplishment. And then we had just over 1,000 Cub Scouts earn the Arrow of Light, which is the top rank for the Cub Scout program, which runs from kindergarten to 5th grade. I want to go ahead and go on to the next slide. Thank you so much. So, scouting through a pandemic, some very cool facts. For the first time, we had 13 females from our council that are part of the very first class of female Eagle Scouts that were recognized on Scouting's 111th birthday this year, so we're incredibly proud of that. You can also see the top 5 merit badges that were earned. Those are all Eagle required, and I do want to highlight 3 of them as they are very tough. That's family life, personal fitness, and personal management. It's those middle 3, and they all have 90-day logging requirements, which as a 12 or 13-year-old is pretty difficult. So it's very impressive. We've camped more than 16,000 scouts and leaders at our camps since June 1st and through December 31st of last year. And we had almost 99,000 service hours thanks to our Eagle Scouts that give back to the local community. We're going to go to the next slide and see if that video works, maybe.
My brother was in scouting. Ever since I was born, it's just been in my life. Whenever I go on camp outs with my brother, I'd be like, I want to do that.
I was a Cub Scout before this, and I always viewed scouting as a great way to get outdoors. I have really felt from a young age that the outdoors is an awesome place because you can get a really nice change of pace from the city life.
The best part of scouting is trying things you've never done before. I'm going to take the welding merit badge, and I would have never been able to do that before. Or canoeing's not really my thing, but after I took the merit badge, I was like, I love canoeing. It's a great space to see what you want to do.
I really learned about all these different opportunities like the Eagle Scout and Order of the Arrow and all these different merit badges. It's really kind of sucked me in from there, and I've always seen these great achievements and said, oh, I can do that.
Awesome. Did I hear my name over here? Yes, sorry.
How do y'all track your volunteer hours?
We track them on a separate website. Tell me if I'm wrong, Brian. Maybe you can help me with that one.
There's an online data management system. It's actually servicehours.scouting.org. There's a third-party volunteer that is a part of our council's program committee team and advancement chair that actually goes in and monitors. So it's volunteer entered data.
Awesome. Thank you. So here's a breakdown of our Circle 10 programs. The 4 I had mentioned earlier, Cub Scouts that really feed into the rest of the program. Our Scouts BSA program, which runs from ages approximately 11 to 18 years old, and that's the classic Life Scout and Eagle Scout program. And then the Venturing Scout program, which also includes Sea Scouts, and believe it or not, I believe we have 5 active Sea Scouting units in Circle 10 Council. And then our Exploring program, which is a career exploration program. And a couple examples of that, we have Post 1999, which works with the Dallas Police Department. We have Post 13 at Booker T. Washington High School, and it's an outdoor and camping club. And Post 1919, chartered by UT Southwestern.
Is it the Explorer program that allows girls?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and clarify that because that's probably a question that a lot of people have. So it's big news about 1.5 years ago that we were going to let girls into the scouting program. So all of the Boy Scouts of America programs are now completely co-ed. All of the programs are. Our Cub Scouting program is now very family focused, getting the entire family involved, and now the Scouts BSA program, ages 11 to 18, is now co-ed as well, but that one's a little different, where boys have separate troops and girls have separate troops. With the Cub Scout age, they're so young still that it's co-ed. If the chartering organization chooses to have their pack that way, they can still be boy or girl packs. I think we have another video.
My name is Travis Lewis. I've been in the Dallas Explorer program for 3 years, and I absolutely enjoy it. It's really motivated me a lot to stay on a great path. I graduated from high school, started EMT school. I'm currently in paramedic school right now, so I'm taking the steps that I need to take to join the Dallas Fire Department. But we get to do a lot of hands-on activities, loading hoses. We go over fire topics, EMS topics, which really helps us. Before I got into paramedic school, we did EMS topics, and that really helped me out a lot, going through the EMS system. We sit in the classroom, and then we get to actually go out there and do it. So that's, increasing your skill level a lot, which I enjoy. Lieutenant Acuna has been a great mentor to me. He helps us out in the program a lot by giving us steps to take to be successful to get on the fire department. He's just not here just to show us hands-on. He sits down with us after meetings. What steps can you take? How many college hours do you need here? What college courses can you take? Would that be going to university, or is that, going to community college or EMT school, paramedic school? He really cares about the explorers personally, and I really appreciate Lieutenant Acuna for doing that. It feels good, when the youth is saying, hey, I like what you do, and I would love to be in the program when I hit age 14. Feels like they're looking up to us, and that feels good to be able to help them out. And we go do other extracurricular activities with running. We pass out water, just in the community. We go around the schools and try to get kids to come join the Explore program, whether it doesn't matter what kind of background you have. If that's not a great background or that's an excellent background, but come to the program and we can try to, help you make that change that you need in your life. People hear about it through friends, family, at school. Principals, actually, one kid told us, his principal told us about it, the program, and that was great to hear that the principal had actually told the kid about the Dallas Fire Explorer program, which I actually like because, it's getting bigger, it's growing. And so when they come here, we want to make them feel welcome. We don't want to make them feel like an outsider. The Dallas Fire Explorer program is more of a family. Like everyone we hang out, with school and stuff, it's kind of hard, but just having new members is a great thing. Exploring, discover your future.
So that's an introduction to our Exploring program. Yes, ma'am.
A question. I
Yep.
like last summer after we've been in the pandemic, not very long, did Scott try to do anything online or Zoom or what did you do in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. So that went on a unit-by-unit basis. For our council-level meetings, we switched a lot of our meetings to Zoom. For those Cub Scout packs and Scouts BSA troops, most of them did do Zoom in some way, shape, or form. Some did that for a while, got burnt out very quickly, started meeting outside in parking lots, and eventually we came up with an approximate 40-page plan to help us not only open our camps safely and on time in the year of 2020, but we also applied that to our troops to help them make sure they can continue meeting. But a lot of individual units, that depends on their chartering organization. So if they're chartered by a church, ultimately the church makes that decision of if they can meet in the building or where they can meet. Anything else you want to add to that?
So it was interesting, right when Governor Abbott had issued the executive orders this time last year, I guess it was probably in March or May, everybody was kind of looking for what to do next. There really wasn't a forethought plan of what happens if the world shuts down. And so we had to pivot very, very quickly and provide opportunities for families to continue to engage with their youth at home. And so as Tyler mentioned, we pivoted a lot of our typically offered in-person programs to that of the virtual environment. We had day camp where we actually had a folks go out to Camp James Ray, which is up in Pottsboro, Texas, and set up a kind of a makeshift campsite, had a couple tiki torches out there. We brought in the guitar. We had the scouts at home say, hey, we want you to go get your tents out of the garage. Come back in 5 minutes. And so they did, and they pitched a model campsite in their backyards. Wow. And then from there, we said, okay, now we're going to sing a song. And they led them through an acoustic guitar song. They had them do skits and things at home. We had opportunities for kids to forget that there was a worldwide pandemic that shut down the entire economy. So for even just a minute, for that hour, during that type of program, they had a chance to re-engage in scouting and remember how much fun it was. And so we had a chance to do that across a lot of different things, as Tyler mentioned, throughout the council's program opportunities. But that was just one example of how we were able to continue engaging our kids at home. And it was on an individual basis, whether or not how risk averse they were, if they wanted to actually get together and meet or not. Was the church open? Were they able to utilize technology such as Zoom or Facebook Live to be able to gather each other's company and be able to communicate and actually have some sort of interaction, albeit not face-to-face? Great question.
Yeah, I think that the pandemic, it was cool in one way because we were able to host online merit badge classes, and we had people from all across the nation signing up for these classes that maybe they wouldn't have access to in smaller, more rural areas where their council is. So that was very cool. Yes, ma'am.
Is Scouting an international organization? I know Boy Scouts of America, but is it international?
Yeah, so Boy Scouts of America is in the United States of America. I think we have one council that's across seas, the Transatlantic Council.
There's three. So basically how the way that the entire scouting organization is comprised is you have the World Organization of the Scout Movement. And so we're fortunate we have a volunteer here that's in uniform, but you'll notice the purple crest that's on his uniform is the actual organization of the World Scouting Movement. That's the typical fleur-de-lis that everybody is familiar with. And here in the United States of America, there's scouts that have their individual agencies in their respective countries, but yes, it is very much an international organization. Here within the United States, we have one overarching parent company, the Boy Scouts of America, and it basically works as a franchise. We have about 258 local councils that are scattered all across the United States that have their own respective geographical service areas. As we had a chance to show you just a little bit earlier, we've got 20 counties here in Texas and 4 counties in southeast Oklahoma. Those 24 counties comprise the Circle 10 Council, which then utilizes the districts, such as Tyler mentioned, the Eagle Trail District, that we were so fortunate to have gotten him from, that operates as the operating arms of the council. Those are the individual areas in which scouting units are then sponsored, typically by faith-based organizations, community organizations such as Rotary, and Kiwanis and Lions Clubs sometimes. But those are where our actually boots meet the ground. And that's where we actually have our unit leaders and other passionate volunteers that we're so very thankful to get to work through their dedication in providing the week-to-week program that our kids have a chance to attend and participate in.
Do you think you'll ever move, as you move toward including girls with boys scouts, do you think administratively they'll ever merge? They'll just be scouts?
So that's another great question. So before I actually came to work for the Boy Scouts about 10 years ago, I just knew it all as scouts. There was the Boy Scouts and there was the Girl Scouts. Everybody kind of figures it's the same, but really the only thing we share in common is the term scouts. They're actually two very separate organizations. Huge fan of their cookies, by the way. I'll get you every time. And so the Girl Scouting program, albeit a wonderful organization, they have a very different program than the Boy Scouting program, which did and now does welcome females into both the Cub Scout and Old Boy Scout program. So as Tyler mentioned just a while ago, in the fall of 2018, the National Office, through the directive of the National Executive Board, decided that, hey, times are changing. We've got families at home that have daughters that come to the Suns meetings and sit on the sidelines. They want to play too. At 9, 10, 11 years old, those girls want to catch a fish, roast a marshmallow, and even shoot a BB gun. And often, they do it better than the boys do. So they said, okay, it's time. We need to let girls into our program. So in that fall, we did. We brought in family scouting. So it is very much separate. There's boys' dens and there's girls' dens, all within the same grade, that operate as a Cub Scout pack. That's another part of the unit that we were talking about. But it's intended to be separate. Typically in smaller communities, do they commingle? They usually do. In the old Boy Scout program, which is probably what our handful of Eagle Scouts around the room remember as the knee-high socks and merit badges at summer camp, that program then had to change from the Boy Scouts to provide a little bit more of an appropriate identity for our now females that are coming into the program in spring of 2019, when we actually first welcomed our first group of female Scouts BSA. So the term changed from Boy Scouts to Scouts BSA. Now it's still the Boy Scouts of America. That just one 11, 17-year-old program is what changed from Boy Scouts to now Scouts BSA, so girls could participate too. And as Tyler mentioned previously in the presentation, we had 13 Eagle Scouts over the pandemic year of females. For the very first time, of those 777 Eagle Scouts, 13 of them were female, which is impressive. Typically, Circle 10 Council puts out over 1,000 Eagle Scouts per year, and to have over 700 in a pandemic time frame just shows you the dedication and passion that parents have for the scouting programs. Will we continue to develop the scouting programs as the models? Yes, the handbooks were rewritten. We were able to show them into the process and give them some identity in the materials and literature that is produced. But as far as that 11 to 17 year age segment, we're also smart enough to realize we have to keep them separate, especially in a camping environment. And so that's where individuals such as Mr. Long here, our youth protection champion, comes in and make sure that our scouts and scouters know that while scouting is fun, we've got rules too. Great question.
Last question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Brian, I'm going to divert that one to you.
I had to figure you were kind of wondering about that. So everybody's kind of wondering, you've heard about the bankruptcy of the Boy Scouts in the news. So if it wasn't girls, I had a feeling that was probably on somebody else's mind here this morning. So we'll have a chance to talk with you just a little bit about it. So since then, since the news kind of broke, I believe in the spring of 2018, the National Office of the Boy Scouts have been working with the various claimants' attorneys and the interested parties to come to a resolution. And just this past March and December, there was a bar date that was reached in saying, if you have a claim, now's your time to file it. Because as of this date, it's either speak now or forever hold your peace. There were a lot of places that had statutes of limitation, but there was a very wide window in which people could apply for that. And afterwards, there has been a resolution that has been reached. Fortunately, the National Council has been able to save our high venture bases. For those of you that have come through the scouting program, everybody holds Philmont close to their hearts. I know I certainly do. But also our the boundary waters up in the northern parts of the United States, the Summit Bechtel Reserve in West Virginia, as well as our sea base in Florida, all of the big scouting experiences have been preserved. Now, all of the unrestricted net assets of the National Office will have to be forfeited. There is also a significant contribution that all of our 260 local councils will be buying into as well. And this provides them a legal injunction in which they are not able to continue to have claims made after the fact. So currently, as it stands, we're in the resolution process. Scouting is going to continue on. The primary mission of this entire process was to equitably compensate those who may have been abused in scouting, but also to continue our mission and service to you. And so, fortunately, it's been a process. Everything that you've read in the news, probably been a bit critical. However, the National Scouting Organization has remained committed to our youth and making sure that they have the safest program possible as we look to move forward. Yes, sir?
We're out of time? Okay, perfect, and then we'll just cut the PowerPoint. If anyone does have any more questions related to that, I have business cards for our Scout Executive, our CEO, Sam Thompson, that was supposed to be here, so feel free and come see me for that information. I think that's it.
I think you've done this a few times.
Tyler, can stay up here.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Y'all were terrific. Obviously, we still have more questions. I apologize that we couldn't get everybody's questions answered. Please come up afterwards and get your questions answered. Now, Miss Valerie is going to give us our membership minute.
Thank you, President Happy. When I think about membership, I think about connections. That's what membership's about, connecting with people who have the same mindset, the same feeling about service, and who you'd like to get to know better. So picture this. 6 years ago, I climb up the stairs to the second floor at Maggiani's, and I see my acquaintance coach, Jane Golden. And I go, Jane. She goes, Valerie. She said, are you coming to Rotary? I said, no, I'm going to the Dallas Economist Club. So I turn left, she turns right. She said, oh, you have to come to a Rotary meeting. I said, great idea. I've heard so much about it, but never been. So 2 weeks later, I come to a Rotary meeting, and guess what? It's history now, right? So who do you know that you're acquainted with or would like to get to know better, who you could invite to a Rotary meeting? We have great announcements about our meetings. The website is fantastic. We have a new updated fact sheet. You can send them information. Our programs vary, so you can modulate it in terms of someone's interest. So when you go back to your office, think about who you know as an acquaintance that you might want to know as a friend now at Rotary.
So Tyler, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us today. A book is being placed in your honor, in y'all's honor, at McShannon Elementary. Thank you so much. And we so glad that you're joining our club and sincerely hope that you'll join our club as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just a quick update. We may have a new office. Laura and I may have an update for you next week. Special thanks to Mark Casher, who suggested a great opportunity for us, and so we may have a new club office starting in September. So more on that next week. Next week's speaker is going to be Dr. Randall Graham. He is a neurosurgeon with Methodist Health. He's going to be talking to us about surgical advances. It's going to be a great program. Now, Bobby Quick and Paul Gorman are going to give us the four-way test. Please come on up. Happy Friday.